So I have another story to tell you, which is when I was a kid, somehow I got it in my head that I wanted to eat acorns when I was a little feral child. I didn't do any research. I don't know what I had in my mind, but I knew that you had to do something with water. So I took like a couple dozen acorns, I took the shells off, I put them in a pickle bucket full of water for about like 4 or 5 days, and then I tried to eat them, and they were disgusting, and I accepted failure. And so now, on Zap, it seems extremely pertinent to what I'm doing and a reliable food source that I'm going to need. So let's see how you can leach acorns, or if I just suck at leaching acorns still.
Where the hell are you?
I think the real question is, how many Indians fell to their deaths knocking acorns out of trees? By using this long pipe, it kind of wraps around the tree as I'm hitting it, which seems to work really well. At this point, I'm about 50 feet up in this oak tree, and I'm finding the main problem is that I need both hands to get a good swing to knock out the acorns. Being up in trees like this with no hands is all about getting the proper footing. You can see I've got one foot securely rested on a nice flat branch, and then this foot over here is actually wrapped around this branch and also sitting on 2 branches. And then behind me, I'm actually leaning up against a whole little section here, so I can lean back with no hands, and I'll never fall out of this tree because I'm hooked on that foot. Not to say you should do this, I don't think you should try this at home, but probably the most dangerous thing is overexerting my swing and falling forward. I can't fall backwards really. Alright, my arms are thoroughly tired. I feel like I've beaten most of the acorns out of this tree, so let's go down on the ground and see how many we can gather up. So as you see, I'm checking them as I go. I'm looking for like, see all these ones? See like this little brown spot? Or like this one's got a black spot, that one actually has a hole, this one. But any weird little thing like this or mold on the top, this one has this tiny little hole right here. Other than that, it looks good. Weird bumps on it. There's another one with weird bumps. All that stuff is worms, and all those worms will hatch out of there and ruin your stash of acorns. So all this stuff, unfortunately, just gets tossed. It's pretty sad. Also, as you go, make sure you pop off the little acorn caps, because that'll help it dry out more. With these, if you put your thumbs at an angle across the top, you can make a whistle out of them. So as you can see, these things are freaking all over the place. You know, they're big and they're starting to turn brown, which means they're really prime for harvest right now. So these are the acorns I gathered the other day. And these are the ones that I got this morning. I have all my dried acorns here. I'm drying them on this piece of tin. And I've been trying to pick out the ones with the holes. Whoa. Hey, what's up, buddy? Whoa! Ooh, mold. The bane of my existence. It seems like the acorns that I've just had sitting on the screen with the lid over it have dried out well and aren't moldy and aren't really too worm-ridden. I know that the Indians store them in kind of wicker baskets they would weave, and so I'm thinking maybe aeration is a better plan than trying to totally seal them off. So I'm going to put them back in my screens and hopefully preserve the ones that aren't rotten and worm-eaten.
One
That was tedious. So let's see what I learned from this acorn cracking experience. When you're grabbing your acorns, usually ones that look like this, you know, they look nice and kind of bright and not like cracked or have holes or mold on them, are gonna be a good acorn. I've been hitting it with the side of the pestle, seems to work well. 2 hits is good. You wanna make sure you crack the top and the bottom. And if you crack the top and bottom, the shell will pop open nice and easy and your acorn will come out. Ideally, your acorn should be like this, kind of bright yellow and just looks fatty. It's not got any mold on it or brown spots, or it's not black, or it's not full of worm castings or maggots or anything. Let's give one of these little guys a try. Whoa. That is like tannins to the maximum. It's puckering my whole mouth and it's really bitter. So now that I know what they taste like, I guess I'll know when they don't taste like that, they'll be done. If you look at the acorns, you can see there's this outer membrane here. There seems to be some debate whether this needs to be removed prior to grinding and leaching. So I'm going to take about a cup of these and grind them up just like they are with this little membrane on them. Here's my cup of acorn flour with the membrane still on, packed in there pretty good. I'm just going to take this and I believe I'm going to put it in a bowl of water and change it 3 or 4 times a day until it is no longer bitter.
As you can see, the flour of my acorn mash has settled to the bottom and the water is turned kind of yellowish brown. So that's the tannins leaching out. So I'm just going to keep changing it until that water is clear. This is the first bowl of acorn mash that I started, and you can see it's kind of clear now. It doesn't have that darkness to it. Alright, is it bitter? There's only a real slight hint of bitterness. So I'm going to try and dry this out now. I'm going to pour off the water and try and get it back to be flour. These are the acorns that I dried on the fireplace. They're not burned. They just turn that black color. And instead of turning into powder, they just turn into these crumbs. Let me see how one tastes. Ooh. It's kind of crunchy, then chewy, but then it breaks down and it tastes nutty and delicious. So I would call that a success, although this stuff's not really flour. I was expecting to get flour out of this.
1 a.m.